It's your midweek motivation, because The View is live. The Carson Show. The most tense and cringy moments of Housing Secretary Dr. Ben Carson's congressional testimony that left people wondering if he has any clue about what his job is.
Do you know what an Oreo is?
Oreo?
No, not an Oreo.
Plus, Eric Stonestreet talks about saying goodbye to Modern Family and Howlin' with Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart in The Secret Life of Pets 2. And ABC News chief legal analyst Dan Abrams takes on legal hot topics. From whether the White House is obstructing justice for telling Don McGahn not to testify, to rumors of a family feud over Britney Spears' fortune. Hump Day Hot Topics are here with Whoopi, Abby Huntsman, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Meghan McCain. Now, let's get things started.
Breaking news of our own. Some of you may think it's great. Some others might think it's the decline of Western civilization. But according to the cover of the New York Times Magazine, The View is the most important political show on TV in America.
Sean Hannity's like, no! I know. Don't worry, Sean. You'll be on the cover of the Inquirer soon. Oh, my gosh. He'll get me later.
He will.
He'll get me later.
He's getting you right now.
He'll be the subject of a segment tonight.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
So far we've had 12 of the... is there anything you want to say about it?
Thank you, New York Times.
Okay.
Lovely.
All right.
I'm very superstitious about press. I think it's like, keep the ball moving forward and continue doing amazing interviews with guests. And I think the responsibility should really go to the producers and crew and people who help make this happen. We're on the cover, but it's a whole facility that makes this happen every day. And I have the best producers in the world, Stephanie and Vicky, who get me ready every day. And I think that I would love to put the whole show on the cover.
Well, the bookings have been incredible, too. I mean, everybody wants to come here, especially when they want to sell a book. But Chris
or they want to apologize.
To me, the great Chris Christie, he was always my nemesis, this guy. And then he comes on here, and he said that if you're confident in your personality, you can go on here, and have good banter with them. They don't pull many punches. So if you're not good on your feet in terms of being able to respond and react quickly and appropriately, it's a dangerous place to be because you can be made a fool of pretty quickly there, too.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was funny that Chris Christie said that, because when I was on with him at GMA, we sort of got into a tiff, and he said, Sonny, save it for The View.
Yeah, he has a dual personality.
He did do that, and I did save it for The View for his appearance on the show.
You did.
I did.
Can I say one final thing?
I roasted him. I roasted Chris Christie. And he didn't realize that I was going after him because the roast was really about the governor of New Jersey. But he was roast master. And, you know, when you do a roast, everybody on that day is open season on that.
Right.
And I did, like, some really horrible jokes on him. At one point, he jumped up to grab my papers from me. He was going to take my papers away. And I said, don't bully me. He backed off, and I thought, from now on, this man hates me. And then he comes on here, and it's a love fest.
Yeah.
That's The View.
That's The View.
Well, for whatever it's worth, I think that women hosting what's considered by the New York Times as the most politically relevant show on TV and daytime talk in and of itself is interesting. And I think everyone in the show, I mean, 5 women are hosting, according to the New York Times, the most politically relevant show on TV. And I think it's the first time all women show's doing that, and our audience is predominantly women. And it shows that women are politically engaged in a way they have never been before.
And powerful.
And I think you have to say something.
I have nothing to to say, I mean, I don't have to justify this show. Never have, never will. It has always been.
That's a good point.
You know, it's always, listen, it's always been interesting conversation.
Right.
Right.
It's everyone else who's had to catch up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ding that bell.
And that was.
You're telling me to
Yes.
ring? Oh,
I know.
no, she said ring the bell.
And wasn't I mean, this is the house that Barbara Walters
Yes.
built, and
Barbara
wasn't that
Walters
her
built
vision
this.
that women, 5 women, would be sitting around a table,
Yes.
talking the way we often do at home, and we do talk about politics, and we do talk about our
Women
family.
talk about everything.
We talk about
you know?
everything.
But it's always been, listen, this show didn't used to get any respect from anybody. And Barbara pulled this show on her back.
Yeah.
She called people. She got, you tell them, you
She
remember.
went door to door with the local stations
That's
to
right.
put us on, keep us on the air.
Put us on. And
Yeah.
that New York Times cover is a testament to Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's interesting about the show, I think, is that the other day I went to a place to just sit and write stuff, you know, outside and have breakfast by myself. Suddenly, women are surrounding me and talking like The View. And they were talking about Trump and politics and everything else, and then another one came, and another one came, and this big group of women gathered around me to do The View. And I think that that's one of the things that we've provided over the years, is to give talking points
An outlet.
and stuff for women to get together and do that. It was really quite interesting day. Yeah.
It's a great thing, and yeah, we're very happy to be on the cover and happy that the country will now know what we've known all along.
Yeah.
Women like politics, guys.
And so far, we've had 12 of the 24 candidates running for president. Next week, Senator Elizabeth Warren will be here.
Yeah.
And I guess that makes her number 13th. And we will be right back with more Hot Topics.
Later, holding out hope. Will the White House tell former communications director Hope Hicks to defy her subpoena to testify before Congress? And could this work against the president?
We're just talking about that we're on in many places in the world, and somebody just said Joy was funny because we're talking to a lady from Nigeria. If you think Joy is funny, listen to this story. Housing Secretary Dr. Ben Carson testified before Congress yesterday and left people wondering if he actually knew what his job is. Take a look.
Do you know what an REO is?
An Oreo?
No, not an Oreo. An REO. REO.
Real estate?
What's the O stand for?
E organization?
Owned, real estate owned. That's what happens when a property goes to foreclosure. We call it an REO.
Do you believe the substandard public housing conditions pose a risk to tenants' physical, mental, and emotional health?
You already know the answer to that.
Yes or no?
You know the answer.
Yes or no? I know the answer. Do you know the answer? Yes or no?
Reclaiming my time.
You don't get to do that.
No.
That's the funniest part.
Listen, man, you know, get out of there. Just stop. You're a great surgeon. You're a magnificent surgeon. I know this because Sonny told me, her husband knows it. You need to get out of HUD. Get out of there. The housing is bad, all of the,
it's so frustrating because Whoopi and I have talked about this. You know, when my husband went to Johns Hopkins and Ben was one of his professors, he was so welcoming to us.
Brilliant surgeon.
Brilliant. And he had us over at his home so many times.
He's the only person to do it from the back of the head.
Yeah, and he was welcoming to us. He had us over his home, and he is just not placed well here. He looks like this cavalier guy, and as someone who did grow up in the projects, Ben, you are not in the right place, because he's saying things like, you know, he says he's trying to come up with a better, more efficient way so that he doesn't leave people in a situation where they become dependent. These are people that need his help. These are people that need him, and he's turning his backs on them. And I want to toss to a clip of Representative Ayanna Pressley from Massachusetts. Do we have what she said?
It pains me that your gifted hands and mind are doing the bidding and carrying the water of what I believe to be one of the most morally bankrupt presidents in our nation's history, increasing rents, evicting families. Today, you are not here as a doctor or even as our Surgeon General, which I think might be better suited for your talents, but as the official tasked with leading the agency overseeing our nation's crumbling housing stock. And for that, I do believe you are unqualified.
And he is. He's just unqualified.
Absolutely unqualified.
And he appears not to be a good person in this world.
Wait, hold on. Go ahead, baby.
So when you guys are talking about what a brilliant surgeon he was, he's a pioneer in every way. And one of the things that he had been working on was he was developing new methods to treat brain cell tumors and was revitalizing techniques to control seizures. And for me, among all the things you're saying, which is valid, what's really difficult for me, my dad had glioblastoma stage 4, which is an extremely deadly form of brain cancer. The median survival rate is a little under a year. And for me, when you have this gift where you could be helping families like mine to maybe sustain life, to help brain tumors, I don't understand when you have a gift like that, why you're doing this. And that's just a personal reaction I had to this, because I think he's a genius doctor, and I would prefer his talents be gone to helping brain tumors.
You know, but that's and that's the thing. But he's in a position now where he could help families like mine, lived in the projects, and he's not doing it. I don't understand why he's not.
It's not that he could help. It's not that he could help it. What he can do is he can stop trying to evict people who are here legally living with families who haven't become citizens yet. He can stop trying to cut the damn budget to buildings all over the country.
But why do you think he's doing that?
Because he doesn't know any better.
Well, he's also under the influence. He's under the influence of Donald Svengali, who has already created this cult of mentally crazy people. I mean, everybody who believes Donald Trump, I believe, has to look a little closer.
But this is beyond him.
Power, celebrity is incredibly seductive, even for someone.
You want to be a celebrity,
but even for someone at that level, even for someone, he had a movie made after him in 2009 called Gifted Hands.
But you remember what Ben said when he came here? I said to him, why are you doing this? You said the guy wasn't the guy to be running the country. What is happening? He said, I tried it. I tried it the nice guy way, and it didn't pay off. So now I'm going to get on the winning train. That's what he said.
He did say that.
But that's what he said. That's what he said.
He's not the nice Ben that I know.
But even if he's not the nice Ben, he needs to be a smarter damn Ben. If you don't know who's supposed to be working with you, if you play Oreo, did you say no, Ben? But didn't say Oreo.
It's a reductive way to have a conversation about something that's very serious, and I think that's why it's evoking so much emotional reaction from people. But you're making fun of, just really quick, like you're making fun of lower income housing issues by using Oreos and sending Oreos and tweeting it and sending it to the woman who asked the question, and I think it reduces the conversation, which is why people are so
clarify the difference between being smart in school, smart like he is, and having emotional intelligence?
No.
Two different things.
See, no. What it shows is that if you don't know what you're doing, you can harm a lot of people when you're in the wrong job. That's what that's showing.
I don't think we'll be on The View anytime soon, though.
So, a lot of folks install security cameras when people work in their homes. So how would you handle this scenario? A California woman discovered that her dog sitter walked around her house naked all day. But what if your dog really loved her and she kept the place clean and didn't leave spots anywhere? Would it be a deal breaker?
Well, let me ask you, I'm assuming that she puts clothes on when she walks the dog.
I don't know. It sounds like they may have property.
She was also caught kissing her boyfriend before they headed towards the bedroom on camera.
What did she do? She kissed her boyfriend?
Kissed her boyfriend naked and then headed towards the bedroom.
Yeah, they heard her say something, down boy, right? No. Kidding. I thought she was talking to the dog.
It would only be a deal breaker for me, actually, if if the boyfriend wasn't supposed to be there, you know, because you give access to the dog sitter, not to the dog sitter's boyfriend and friends and that sort of thing. I had a situation actually.
Don't tell me you had a new dog.
No, I didn't have that. I didn't have that. I had a situation with an au pair who was in the house and invited her boyfriend over for the weekend while we were away.
So what happened?
And I was like,
to close them.
I was like, I have a problem with that. I need to know who you're inviting into the house.
That's true.
But I don't know, the nakedness doesn't really bother me. Isn't that strange? I mean, if that floats your boat and my dog likes you.
Maybe the dog appreciates what he's saying.
Yeah, like I'm kind of cool with that. It's just the added little person in the house. I don't like that.
I'm sorry, keep your damn clothes on, okay?
Really?
Keep your clothes on.
The nakedness bothers you?
I don't want you in my house naked.
Because
the only naked person in my house should be me. Okay? Me and my cat.
But what if they just
We don't wear anything when we're running around the house. But I don't want you sitting on my couch naked.
Yeah, it's that. I did think about that.
And how old are you? Because if you're over a certain age, I won't have to worry about you.
Yeah.
But if you know, because you get up and there's all kind of spottage. It's a test.
I thought about the sitting.
That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Listen, you know.
The dog walker is apparently 26. I was just informed.
I don't care. Bitch, keep your clothes on.
There's some people that are like naked people. Like I know people that just like really they sleep naked, they whatever. I'm whatever the opposite of that is. Like I go to the beach and I'm like basically dressed in like giant caftans and hats.
You know,
and
they have new bathing suits now, I'm saying, that have like shorts and long shorts.
Yes.
I'd like shoulder pads would be good.
Like I don't
you know, and
naked,
like you're covered up. Didn't the Sports Illustrated just have a woman with a burqa on? She looked gorgeous, and that's why I want to wear that from now on. It covers everything up and it keeps you from getting a sunburn.
But also, we should be aware of skin cancer.
Love that. Sleeping naked is good. It's like very free.
In your house. Do not sleep naked in my house. Do not be naked in my house.
I promise I won't do that. I promise I won't be naked in your house.
And the lady said she's denying everything, right, Sonny? Do it, please.
Casey Bringle denies she was having sex in the apartment.
All right.
WAG, this is the dog sitting service, walking service, suspended Bringle and issued this statement to ABC7.
Oh, God.
The reported behavior in this situation is unacceptable and contrary to our community guidelines. We expect everyone on the WAG platform to conduct themselves professionally.
What?
She's having a bad day.
That's
like,
right.
Not a good day to be Casey.
Well, it's hard. It's hard.
I'm
One more time.
By the nakedness.
All right. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's me, Eric Stone Street, and I hope you see The Secret Life of Pets 2 in theaters June 7th. And you know what? My dog, Roscoe, he has his own secret life, too. He's at home right now. Yeah, that's right. Hi, boy. Sit. Turn around. Good boy. Up. Get up. Yep. Get up. Up. Hi, Roscoe. Good boy. Who's a good boy? Who's a good puppy? I miss you.
Stone Street.
As a hint.
Joy always has them.
Oh,
okay, you never know.
She likes them.
How's it going?
Good.
It's going
I was
well.
just naked in your dressing room.
In my dressing room?
Yes, yours is yours and yours is yours. And I'll be naked in your homes later.
I would be unbothered by that. Well, your new movie is a sequel to the first Secret Life of Pets. And I have to say, I didn't see the first one, but this one was so, of course, Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish, and Harrison Ford.
Yeah, Harrison Ford.
Oh, Harrison.
Yeah, tell us about it.
I love Harrison.
Yeah, well, it's his first animated film he's ever signed up to do, so it's a big deal. I hope I get to meet him at the premiere or something and just say what a big fan I am of his. But his voice in the movie is exactly what you want. I mean, it's just leathery and soft and cool and quiet.
And he plays this incredible...
A cool farm dog named Rooster.
Yes.
He's a real movie star, Harrison.
He is.
Ford.
He really
like
is.
authentically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when his voice, I mean, you recognize the voice.
You're going to love it.
But you have an actual real dog, right?
I do. Roscoe is his name.
Who you love.
A lot.
Yeah.
Maybe too much. There he is.
What kind of dog is that?
He's American Staffordshire cattle dog, Shar-Pei, and 12% mutt. I did the DNA test.
Did you really?
Yeah. I just rattle that off the top of my head. That's my guess. No, his aptitude. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
His aptitude to learn is insane. Like, he's so smart.
Is his secret? Does he have a little secret like the other one?
You know, I think his secret is he's happy that I leave, because I feel like he is responsible for my entertainment. Like, because we're just constantly doing stuff with him. He's like, okay, I get it. I can balance stuff on my nose. Just leave.
Do you leave him alone or with a naked babysitter?
Well, my assistant right now is naked. Tyler, put your clothes on.
So one thing I couldn't help but notice on your Instagram is that you have a new hairstyle called hiatus hair.
Yeah, that's
that I think we have a photo of.
Hey.
Nice. You look amazing. I'm really into this.
I like that.
Well, I always wanted that hairdo. Ricky Skaggs.
Why?
Well, there, look at that. So that was the hair I sent my friend, who is a professional wig maker and makeup artist in Hollywood, and they made it for me just so I could pick up my girlfriend from the airport looking like that.
Is she into it?
Not at all. Not at all. I said, how do you like the future?
And she said,
She's like, I hope you enjoy the present, because it's soon to be your past.
God, Modern Family, it's a long time.
11, yeah, we just finished 10 years, and we're going to do 11. Our next season is our last season. 11 years on a sitcom is
amazing.
Wow. 11 years anywhere is a long time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Not complaining.
Yeah.
No.
No. Haven't you been here 12? Been here 12, 11.
11.
Yeah.
Her 11th.
But we're so fortunate. We're so happy and thankful for everybody that's watched over the years. Thank you for watching, and we're going to do our best to say a proper goodbye to this family and goodbye to you. And I know our writers, Chris and Steve, and the whole staff are going to do an amazing
Do you
job.
think you've actually made the country less homophobic?
I believe that. And let me tell you, I can only base it on my personal interactions with people. As you all, you have interactions with people that tell you things, and that's how they actually study things and rate and track things. And one of my favorite tweets ever was a screenshot of a conversation a girl had with her dad that said, you cured my dad of his homophobia. Like,
nice.
Mitch and Cam cured my dad of his homophobia. Now, that doesn't mean we take credit for a lot. People came before us on TV as a gay couple. There will be couples after us, but there's just no doubt we have had a good cultural touch.
There's real power.
Yeah, we're very proud of that.
Because people who don't understand why they don't like gays, and when they say, oh, the mailman could be gay, the butcher could, anybody, my teacher.
Yeah.
And when you get to know a person, then you get less homophobic.
Well, that was always the goal with Mitch and Cam, is to shuffle their sexuality down the list and get to know them as parents. And we've always said, we just wanted Mitch and Cam to show America that they could make the same mistakes raising a child that anyone else can.
And it's really important, because now, of course, there's this, in many places in the country, this push to keep gay people from becoming parents.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
People who want to raise children never take that away from folks.
No.
Right.
Never,
and guess what? There are plenty of children that need homes.
That's right.
Yeah, loving homes.
Loving homes.
And that home can look any way it needs to look.
Absolutely. It can, and I've met so many wonderful. Just in Kansas City the other day, a gentleman came up to me and thanked me for helping his son be more relatable at school. So it happens everywhere.
That's nice.
Yeah, there are good people everywhere.
did good things.
Oh, thank you.
Doing good
You
work.
guys do good stuff.
Well, thank you. Well, this year also marks the 20th anniversary of your very first TV role.
Yeah, Dharma and Greg.
Yeah.
I was on an episode of Dharma and Greg. Remember Dharma and Greg?
We have a clip.
Well, we have a clip.
No,
Yes, we do.
And as your supervisor, it would be my job to help you in any way that I can.
Oh, terrific. That sounds great. Okay, you know what would help? In about 10 minutes, there's going to be a lot of policemen here. What you could do is come in and sit with me on my couch and say, we've been here all day.
Do you remember that?
Oh, my gosh, do I remember that. I had gone in for Chuck Lorre was a producer that had gone in for like 3 or 4 times and didn't get cast. And then I finally got that part and showed up to shoot. Jenna, Thomas, they were all so nice to me. And then where I would go in and audition is at 20th Century Fox. Right. And about 12 short years after that, I rolled into my first day of work at Modern Family and realized my trailer for my sitcom is about 250 feet away from where it all started for me. Oh. So it was a full circle moment, and I'm always appreciative of every job I've gotten to do because it led, it just led me to where I ended up.
Do you have anything left you want to do?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I want to just maybe go away because let people forget about me for a minute and then come back and do something that's different.
Don't stay too long because they forget.
Yeah, I know. That's true, right?
Right?
That's true.
Amnesia.
Just like a year. What about a year? What about, how about
a year's all right.
Okay.
No more than that.
I want to do
We'll miss you.
I'll be back.
1 year, Eric.
Okay, 1 year.
Joy says 1 year. Okay, well, I think it's too long. Our thanks to Eric Stonestreet. The Secret Life of Pets 2 will be in theaters Friday, June 7th. You got to see it. We'll be right back. High-profile legal battles making headlines right now, so we're getting into the latest legal hot topics with ABC News chief legal analyst and author of the new book, Theodore Roosevelt for the Defense, Dan Abrams. Yay!
Great
hey,
to
my
be
friend.
It is so nice to be back.
Theodore Roosevelt, one of the great Republicans.
He was.
Of his era.
He was a
That's
great
right,
Republican who ended up actually splitting from the Republican Party at one point and becoming the leader of what was known as the Progressive Party and then became the Bull Moose Party.
He was also a great environmentalist.
Huge. Yes. A lot of the national parks. A lot of the national parks in this country are thanks to Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah. That's right. Well, let's talk about what's going on now because former White House counsel Dan McGahn was subpoenaed by the House Judiciary Committee. He didn't go. I'm defying the subpoena. The White House says don't go. He doesn't go. Now Hope Hicks is being subpoenaed, and she may also say, I don't think so. Yeah. What kind of a country are we living in that people can defy a subpoena, and why aren't they all in jail?
She feels a little strongly about this.
Look, but see, no, first, there are two separate questions, right? Why they're not in jail is there are fights all the time over subpoenas in this country. It's not
but if they subpoenaed me, wouldn't I have to go?
You could still fight it. You could still say, I'm not going to, I'm going to.
You put us in jail.
You hire a lawyer. No, I'm not saying the end result, but the bottom line is people are acting as if there never fights over subpoenas.
I sent a lot of people to jail for doing that.
Yeah, but no, that's for defying a subpoena.
Yeah. All right.
I'm saying the first thing that you do is you try and fight it, which is what they are doing. Now, the problem is that what they're now saying is, you know what? This isn't even about executive privilege anymore. This isn't even about private conversations. This is just about immunity. They're now saying we are simply immune from having someone like Don McGahn have to testify because he was effectively part of the inner sanctum.
Even though he's a private citizen now, and they're making it even broader than executive privilege.
That's right. Don McGahn, but by the way, Don McGahn could do what he wants. I mean, Don McGahn, because as you point out, he's a private citizen, could say, you know what? I'm going to go testify. James Comey decided to testify.
Isn't this more evidence of obstruction of justice for Nancy Pelosi?
No.
You will go that.
No, this is not obstruction of justice. It is going, look, they're still going through the legal process. They're making an argument that is not a winning argument.
They're waiting out the clock. Donald Trump is waiting out the clock.
Can I ask a really dopey question? Because, clearly my brain is no longer working. When someone says, no, I don't want you to go do that. That's not obstructing. That's not obstructing. You have to punch somebody out and sit on them to keep them from going into the building to make it obstruction? What is obstruction? That's
well, the difference is that they are making a legal argument, right? Harriet Miers made this argument, in effect, that she shouldn't have had to testify, or that it was made on behalf of her, that she shouldn't have had to testify. So it's not, it's a losing, meaning it may be a losing argument.
Yeah, Nixon lost that argument because that argument ended up in the 3rd articles of impeachment.
That's fun. No, but it's not obstruction to say, I am going to ask Don McGahn not to testify, to let it work its way through the courts. The problem is, if the court orders are ignored, then you got a different story here.
Right.
I'm just saying, let's calm down a little bit. Let's let it work its way through the courts. You're right that I think he's playing out the clock here. I think that's what's happening.
All it's saying
and you can criticize that.
Yeah.
But I don't.
We do every day. Well, let me ask you something else. College admissions is something else that we talk about a lot here. So last week, Felicity Huffman, she cried as she pled guilty to fraud conspiracy charges. She took full responsibility, which I always loved as a prosecutor, but they're recommending that she serve 4 months in jail. Do you think she serves 4?
I think she still has the right to argue for 0 months,
right,
which I think she's going to do. I think she'll probably get a little bit of time, probably less than 4 months.
You think she serves less?
Yeah, I think she'll get less than 4 months.
She deserves to serve less.
By the way, look, let me make an even more what you may view as radical argument.
Wager.
Lori Loughlin. I seem to be the only person in America who supports her decision not to plead.
I'm going to wager with you on that one, too.
She is being offered a deal for effectively 3 years, let's say.
Right.
Why would she take a deal for 3 years?
She's
in
only
this
getting
case?
that deal for 3 years now.
That's right.
Because she didn't take the plea offer earlier.
Well, but they've added on charges, and my point is that people are saying, like, how could she not plead? Because she's not being offered a great deal. And now, or I don't think from the beginning.
What was the deal she
I don't think she was offered a great deal.
She got a very similar deal to Felicity Huffman.
No, she was.
I mean,
the money was so much higher.
But it would have been a year.
No, I don't think she was ever offered a year. I don't think she was ever offered a year. Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin are in two very different situations.
She annoyed the judge also because she was signing autographs and acting like she didn't care.
But I don't think there's a chance that Lori Loughlin's going to end up getting 10 years, even if she's convicted.
I agree. No.
And so
this is also first-time offenders.
But the prosecutors are sending a message.
They are absolutely sending a message.
But there's sending a message, and then there's overkill.
Right. No, but that's my point. People are so angry about this, and I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But
I'm angry.
Look, I get it. But we just have to apply the same rules that apply to anybody else. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, we have to teach other people how to do the right, how to work in the right.
And there are women of color
I have to ask you, Dan, because you're not just here for hot topics. You're here because you got a new book called Theodore Roosevelt for the Defense. Tell us about it. I'm listening to it. It's kind of fascinating, and he really gets himself into a pickle. It's like the pot calling the kettle black. And then he has to, it goes off. Go ahead.
Can you imagine the former president of the United States having to testify in a civil lawsuit?
Yeah.
That could happen. And you know what? It's happened before. Teddy Roosevelt testified for 8 days. Think about this. He's the former president of the United States. Franklin Roosevelt testifies in his defense. The world is watching. He's one of the most famous people in America, and he has to sit in a courtroom in Syracuse, New York, undergoing cross-examination by a very good, very tough lawyer who dislikes him personally and politically. And they try to tarnish Roosevelt in a way that would ruin his legacy.
Yeah.
And so this trial becomes incredibly important to Theodore Roosevelt, and somehow it's become a footnote to history. So we actually have the transcript of the case, and we tell the story surrounding it.
It's very different than the last book, which was Lincoln's last.
Yes. Also had a transcript there.
Yes, but not as
no. This one you have the former president on the witness stand.
Sounds like a good movie.
It's
you know, and the film rights are available too.
That's right.
By the way.
I'm sorry, they're probably not by now.
Well, our thanks to our friend Dan Abrams. His new book is called Theodore Roosevelt for the Defense, and members of our audience are getting a copy.
Tomorrow, Allison Williams talks about making your skin crawl in her terrifying Netflix movie, The Perfection.
You know what you have to do?
And if there's a girls' reunion in her future.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't know if it was for me or for you, live TV guys. Dan, I wanted to talk to you about live PD, which I talked to you about in a green room earlier.
We had a great conversation.
You have the best. It's by the way, like.
So it's called Live PD Nation?
It's Live PD Nation is the people who watch, but it's 8 police departments live on A&E, 9 to midnight on Friday and Saturdays.
Very good. We want you all to have a great